Helmut Marko just walked away from Red Bull after 25 years. The man who discovered Max, the man who built the Red Bull Junior program, the architect of 4 consecutive world championships, gone. And in his final interview, Marko says Max Verstappen has matured into a self-sufficient team leader and believes he can win more F1 titles if Red Bull gives him the right car. Max Verstappen isn't the crown prince anymore. He's the king. Let me take you back to 2015. 17-year-old Max Verstappen, Toro Rosso, youngest driver in F1 history. Aggressive, reckless, brilliant. The kid who made Lewis Hamilton look over his shoulder. 2016, Spanish Grand Prix. Max's first race with Red Bull. Both Mercedes crash out on lap 1. Max wins on debut at 18 years and 228 days. Youngest winner in F1 history. And everyone said the same thing. He's fast, but he's too hot-headed. He'll crash out. Fast forward to 2025. Helmut Marko, the man who's worked with Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, and Max, says this about the Dutchman. He hardly ever has any lapses or outbursts, which were of course present in the early stages. He's become an incredibly perfect personality. Let's be clear about what happened here. Max didn't just get faster, he got smarter. The rage on the radio? Gone. The reckless dive bombs? Calculated. The emotional outbursts when things go wrong? Replaced with ice-cold composure. 2025 was proof. Red Bull's car was slower than McLaren. Max was 104 points behind after the Dutch Grand Prix. Did he panic? Did he rage? No. He came back, won races, closed a 104-point gap to just 2 points by Abu Dhabi, lost the championship by 2 points to Lando Norris. And still, no meltdown, no blame game. Just, we'll come back stronger. That's not the 17-year-old kid from 2015. That's a leader. Now, Christian Horner is gone, replaced mid-2025 by Laurent Marquez. Helmut Marko stepped down. Adrian Newey left for Aston Martin. Red Bull just lost the 3 most important people who built their dynasty. And Max addressed the leadership change like this. Laurent has always been very honest about what he's done, and I like that. He's just one of the guys. We get on very well. Zero drama, zero panic. Red Bull didn't collapse when these people left. Max held it together. The team rallied around him, not the other way around. And you know who's still there? Gianpiero Lambiase, GP, Max's race engineer since 2016. The guy who's been in Max's ear for 9 seasons. The guy who knows exactly how Max thinks. The guy who can calm Max down with 1 sentence on team radio. As long as GP is there, Max has the one constant he needs. But before I explain why Max is about to dominate 2016 harder than anyone expects, and why he's on track to beat Lewis Hamilton's record of 7 world championships before he even turns 32, if you're here for F1 content that doesn't sugarcoat the uncomfortable truths, hit that like button and subscribe. Okay, let me say something controversial. Max Verstappen is easily a contender for the next 3 world championships, minimum. 2026, 2027, 2028. 3 more titles. That puts him at 7, tying Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher for the most championships in F1 history. And we all know Hamilton won his 7th championship in 2020. He was 35 years, 10 months, 8 days old. Max Verstappen was born September 30th, 1997, which means if Max wins championships in 2026, 2027, and 2028, he'll be, 31 years old when he ties the record? That literally gives him 4 more years to beat it before he's even Lewis's age. And let's be real, Max isn't slowing down. He became a father in 2025, and instead of making him softer, it made him more focused. No more late-night media appearances. No more sponsor drama. Just racing, sim racing, and family. That's it. And when you strip away everything except pure performance, Max is untouchable. Like I discussed earlier in my previous videos, 2026 is custom built for Max. Active aero, front and rear wings that adjust on the fly, 50-50 power split, half internal combustion, half electrical. MGUK power jumps from 120 kilowatts to 350, nearly 300% more electrical power. Overtake mode, extra electrical energy only available within 1 second of the car ahead. Boost button, drivers can manually deploy electrical energy at any point on the lap. Recharge mode, energy recovery through braking, lifting off throttle, everything. You know what that is? That's iRacing. That's managing battery deployment. That's strategic thinking while driving flat out. And who's been training for this exact scenario every single night since he was 17? Max Verstappen, the guy who races iRacing until 3 a.m. The guy who won a virtual 24-hour race at the Nürburgring, then woke up and won the Imola Grand Prix the next day. And here's what nobody wants to say out loud. Red Bull's dominance isn't over. It's just entering Phase 2. Phase 1 was Vettel, 4 consecutive championships from 2010 to 2013. Adrian Newey's Aero Genius, Helmut Marko's driver deployment, Christian Horner's leadership. Phase 2 is Max. No Newey, no Marko, no Horner. Just Max, GP, and a team that's built around him. Red Bull is becoming a Max Verstappen delivery system. And in 2026, with Ford power units, Red Bull powertrains fully operational, and regulations that favor sim-trained drivers, Max is about to turn F1 into a sport where everyone else is racing for second. Not because they're slower, because they've learned that fighting Max costs more than it's worth. Let me paint you a picture of 2029. These are my predictions. Max Verstappen, 32 years old, 8 world championships, breaking Lewis Hamilton's record. Red Bull, still winning constructors' titles, still the benchmark. And the rest of the grid, still asking the same question they asked in 2021. How do we beat this guy? You don't. Because Max has done something no other driver has ever done. He's outlasted the people who built the empire. After Sebastian Vettel's departure in 2014, Red Bull didn't win any championships until Max's first title in 2021. The empire kept winning because of Max. And guess what? The empire will keep winning. Because the empire isn't Red Bull anymore. It's Max Verstappen. Look, I love the guy, but let's be honest here. Lando Norris is 2025 world champion. Deservedly. The guy drove the wheels off that McLaren. Charles Leclerc is Ferrari's golden boy, the guy who can extract magic from any car. George Russell is Mercedes' future. Fast, clinical, intelligent. Doesn't matter. Because when Max has a car that suits him, when the regulations favor energy management, when the team is built around his feedback, he's gonna run away with it. And by 2028, we're gonna be having a very different conversation. Not, can Max beat Lewis's record, but how many championships will Max win before he retires? Because right now, at 28 years old, with 4 championships already, with the mental maturity to lead a team through chaos, with the technical ability to exploit 2026 regs better than anyone, Max is on track to become the greatest Formula One driver of all time. Not just by the numbers, but by the way he's built an empire around himself that survives everyone who leaves. So, what are your predictions? Is Max gonna dominate 2026 and win the next 3 championships? Or is someone gonna stop the Dynasty? Type Dynasty if you think Max hits 7 titles by 2028. Type overrated if you think someone's catching him. And if this video made you realize why Max is about to enter his most dominant era yet, hit that like button. And if you want more F1 content like this, subscribe. See you in the next one.